Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. The Texans hope by the end of today's game they'll have secured win number 1 on the season. It's the Colts going up against the Texans. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny when we talked to him. All he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. This is the first carry for Rob Kelly. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Give him 30 yards there.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston that he goes to stand. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Zach Cunningham in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, you really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there in that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Come on, let's go!
Watson on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Martin. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
Watson, a dump off for Abdullah. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A very solid gain of 27.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go! Ryan 38!
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
Markevius Mingo looks like he should be an excellent outside linebacker in the NFL, but he's never quite found his footing in the league. A former first-round pick in Cleveland, didn't really reach the heights that they expected. Spent a year in New England where he won a Super Bowl playing mainly special teams. And now in 2017 with the Indianapolis Colts, hoping to fulfill that promise he showed while he was at LSU and become a blitzing linebacker who can get to the quarterback.
Going deep for Hupp, and it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. After the interception, it's Love. Gonna look deep for Wilson. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
To throw on second is Watson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Come on, let's go.
3rd and 2, Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Simmons. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment.
The NFL Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On first down, Abdullah. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Hopkins, the man in motion right. The second down run for Abdullah. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Watson off play action. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Martin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll try and run with Abdullah. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, Sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
A big play there on the catch and run. 77 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
Kelly to try to punch it in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Called out a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Kelly, 3rd and goal. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Rob Kelly, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The 2nd quarter score from Cincinnati. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it two different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
He got 29 yards that time. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. In motion left, the tight end. Second and goal from the 5. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this third down play takes place, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and goal. They'll try to run it. It's Hill. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The second quarter score from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room, as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA halftime report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Texans are behind right now, but the home crowd should give them a boost. The Colts have looked good on the road.
And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Henry Anderson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Kelly on the counter. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it. 6
points go by the wayside on that one.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out, put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Come on, let's go. Ohio, Ohio.
Throwing again is Watson. He's going to air one out. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And he'll bang that one through. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play that time for the Colts. 71 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come up in an offset eye. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They'll try the air now with Locke. That's caught at the 2. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A third-quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. The Redskins have scored yet again. They've really opened that one up. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Barkevious Mingo from his outside linebacker spot. He comes up to drop him for a loss of 10. Second down, here's Watson going up top. That's caught inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Watson now on second down. This is screen to Abdullah. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Christian Jones with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Starts with Rob Kelly. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they do finally get him at the 12. A big play there for Indy. 45 yards on the ground. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Again, this is Kelly. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Rob Kelly with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On first down, Watson. And this one's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Watson now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And he's got Miller. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
Come on, let's go.
They go play action here on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Quincy Wilson with the INT, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And the Colts coming out now. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
he would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
They'll go again with Kelly. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit right at the line of scrimmage. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They've gone to the 4th quarter now in Dallas. And it was the Niners who were able to come away with a victory there. Matt Ryan, 2 touchdown passes in the W. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And now out comes Houston. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A dump off now to Hill. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Come on, let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And Martin's got it complete. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go. Ohio.
On 1st and 10. Watson. Now a desperation throw deep. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?